Hello, Whiplash. I've just been looking in Evil Lynn's crystal ball, and it would appear that you are going to be blinded for the rest of the week.
Why, Skeletor?
I'm not telling you. It's a surprise. Right, now get out of my sight before I beat you.
Yes, Skeletor.
Right. Hello, everybody. Greetings! I am Skeletor, and welcome back to SkeleTalk, the series where I answer your questions. It's the internet's best-kept secret. Right. We start with an apology from Nick APD, who writes to express regret at his mention of Greece last week. He writes, "Dear Skeletor, I'm writing to apologise for leaving you feeling stranded at the drive-in, branded a fool. My actions were thoughtless, and I regret causing you any pain. Sincerely, Nick APD." Well, Nick, thank you. I accept your apology with no hard feelings. I'm glad you've learned your lesson and will never quote Greece to me again.
Skeletor, it's a trap.
What are you on about, Whiplash?
It's not an apology. It's another Greece quote.
Really?
Yes, Skeletor.
Whiplash, I'm just going to step away for a moment. Oh, that absolute f***ing cunt. He's made me look a right tranny again. Oh, f*** him in the arse, that son of a f***ing bitch. Somebody get me his address. I'm going over there after the show to push dog poo through his letterbox and squirt superglue into his keyholes. What? No, that's not a euphemism. And add his name to my ninny list. What's that? Well, put it on there again. No, not above Gerard O'Connor. Right, deep breath, Skeletor, deep breath. Sorry about that, everybody. I thought I saw a squirrel. Whiplash, get out of my sight before I beat you.
Yes, Skeletor.
Right, let's move on to the questions. Retro Toy Guy Sai asks, Lawrence, Aniston, or Connolly? Which Jennifer would you call to help you clean up after a terrible diarrhea accident? Well, of the three, I suppose I would pick Aniston, as I fancy her the least. I would still be embarrassed, of course, but I could never ask Lawrence or Connolly to help me with such a disaster. Connolly is too classy to mop up my tummy mud, and Jennifer Lawrence is quite literally the hottest creature I have ever seen. Thanks for the question, Sai. Mike Ciccone asks, what sort of cake is the revenge cake you mentioned last week? Well, Mike, the beauty of revenge cake is that you can adapt any cake to this purpose. All that is required is to add 3 handfuls of horsehair and a cup of sharp sand to any cake recipe, and hey presto, you have a revenge cake. Simple but effective. It goes with anything, but I would suggest a glass of warm piss. Thanks for the question, Mike. Andrew also has a question about revenge cake. He asks, is revenge cake best served cold? Is it an ice cream cake? Well, Andrew, yes, cold and without warning. It is also best served on a brick or cinder block and delivered violently to the face at great speed. The recipient should be very surprised and will likely never cross you again. Andrew also asks me to review Grease 2. Well, I'm going to ignore this request and turn a blind eye on this occasion. I will not be drawn into any further discussion regarding these films, and you have luckily avoided my wrath today. You are fortunate that I like you. Thanks for getting in touch, Andrew. Jason Raphael Murdoch has 3 questions for me. Number 1, do you know Spring-Heeled Jack personally? Yes, but not intimately. His brother, Albert, is my sister's best friend's neighbour's cousin's daughter's ex-boyfriend's father's washing machine repairman's dog walker, which makes him almost family. I've met him once, and he was rather bouncy. Question 2. Who is your favourite professional wrestler? Well, rather predictably, I would have to say The Undertaker. This would be based purely on aesthetic, because I've never watched wrestling in my life. And question 3. Who would you rather have as your minion? A Dalek or a Cyberman? Oh, that's easy. A Cyberman every time. I've never been impressed by the Daleks. Thanks for the questions, Jason. Alex James has 3 questions. Number 1. Did you at one time stand in for Tony Kaye on keyboards during Yes's Big Generator tour of '87? No, that wasn't me. That was Skullman from Remco's Warrior Beasts. I can play the keyboard, but I've never been a Yes man. Question 2. Have you ever considered starting your own band if your minions could actually play instruments? Well, I'm a bit too busy these days, but in the late 80s I did used to play bass in an acid jazz band called the Funky Fish Sticks. We used to tour with Yaz and the Plastic Population. Alex's 3rd question is for Whiplash. Whiplash, come here immediately, you scaly halfwit.
Yes, Skeletor.
Right. Which of the following is not considered a flute? A recorder, a drumstick, or a penis?
Skeletor?
Yes, Whiplash?
What will happen if I say penis?
Great question, Whiplash. If you do that, I will instruct you to turn around and then I will deliver a devastating headbutt to your visual cortex, blinding you for the remainder of the week.
Skeletor?
Yes, Whiplash?
I'm going to say penis.
I know, Whiplash. Of course you are. Go ahead.
A penis, Skeletor!
Marvellous. Turn around.
Yes, Skeletor.
Right. How do you feel now?
I've got a splitting headache and I can't see anymore.
Splendid. Thanks for that opportunity, Alex. Don't go anywhere, Whiplash. Ben Studley has some questions for you.
Am I facing the right direction, Skeletor?
No.
Can you help me, Skeletor?
No. Right, here are Ben's questions to you, Whiplash. Number 1. Do you recall your sliding door moment that led you to and could have pivoted you away from your current career?
I can't remember anything, Skeletor. I'm in a lot of pain.
Okay. Question 2. Were Skeletor to die suddenly, rude, what would be your top bucket list life goals with your newfound freedom?
I'd like to sleep in a real bed, and I'd like to have fish for dinner at least twice a year, instead of never.
Oh, let me get my violin out. Right, question 3. Are you able to take further questions, or should I delete all record of this in fear of sending you to the Eternian Gulag?
I don't know what a gulag is, Skeletor.
Well, it's a hearty soup originating in Eastern Europe, you idiot. Right, get out of my sight before I beat you.
Yes, Skeletor. Which direction should I go?
I don't care. Just keep walking until you bump into something.
Yes, Skeletor.
Right. Thanks for the questions, Ben.
I've bumped into something, Skeletor.
Shut up, Whiplash. Okay. Lord Malvada has reached out on Twitter with 2 questions and a riddle. Let's do the riddle first because Whiplash isn't around to spoil it. Okay. What is super hard, comes in different sizes, and can go into tiny holes?
A penis, Skeletor.
Shut up, Whiplash! Right. The answer is a key. Right. Question 1. Would you rather lick a homeless man's toe or chew gum you found stuck under a table? A good question, and I would lick the toe, but my lick would not be powerful. And question 2. Can you belch the alphabet? No. Funnily enough, I tried this at the library last week. I only reached the letter G, at which point I was sick all over a book about horses. Thanks for the questions, Lord Malvada. Stephen Gray has 3 questions. Number 1. Do you love anyone enough to give them your last Rolo? No! All my Rolos are for me. The only being I share food with is Panther, and he doesn't like Rolos. Question 2. In your opinion, which of these Clevs is the most Wev? Bet Lynch, Hilda Ogden, or Belle Delphine? Could you give a reason as to your Hev? Well, Stephen, I have been unable to determine about what on earth you are talking. I shall choose Belle Delphine and hope for the best. And question 3. You've heard of robot jocks, but do robots wear socks? No, you weirdo. Robots, as a rule, do not generally wear socks. What a peculiar thing to ask. Thanks for the question, Stephen. Kat has 3 questions for me. Number 1. Who annoys you more, Darth Vader or Hordak? Well, Hordak, of course. Did you really need to ask? And question 2. Do you wish Katra was on your side instead of working for Hordak? Yes, I wish all his minions worked for me. And question 3. How often do you cast spells besides Havoc magic? Well, I almost always use Havoc magic. Evil Lyn tends to cast most of the spells we need. The only spell I use regularly is a thermal spell to keep my bathwater hot.
What about the spell you use to keep your willy stiff?
Shush, Evil Lyn! Nobody must know about that. My God, woman, I hope nobody heard that. Right, thanks for the questions, Kat. Delvian Seek asks what colour I turn when sunburnt. Well, Delvian, the same as you, red. And yes, I do peel. Thanks for the question. Soda Cauldron has a couple of questions. Number 1. Was Dr. Pepper a real doctor? Yes, it seems that the beverage was named after Dr. Charles Pepper in 1885. And question 2. Do you agree with your friend Patrick Bateman that Invisible Touch by Genesis is an undisputed masterpiece and an epic meditation on intangibility? No, I disagree entirely. The song is flimsy and irritating, and the official music video is excruciatingly embarrassing. Let us never speak of this again. Thanks for the question, Soda. Full-time ninny Gerard O'Connor has 2 questions to round out the episode. Firstly, have you checked out Eternia Dreams on YouTube? Very similar to Toy Federation and a fun time. No, Gerard, I do not watch toy channels because I'm a grown man. This is the sort of thing Monkey Boy watches, the idiot. And secondly, Gerard implies that my voice hasn't broken yet, which is completely inaccurate. To prove it, here is a recording of my voice at 12 years old.
No, Mummy, I don't want to play with Action Man and Transformers. I want My Little Ponies and a tea service. And I've wet myself.
There we are, Gerard. Don't you feel silly now? Right, that's the end of the episode. If you enjoyed the show, please give it a thumbs up and share it, you selfish people. Don't keep it all to yourselves. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and do leave me a comment or a question for next time. Right, I'm off to give Whiplash a wedgie. He'll never see it coming. See you next time. Bye!